Hello everyone, welcome and welcome especially Jodi. Thank you for agreeing to share a little bit about the recent service learning study tour. I guess my first question is, I'm interested to understand your motivation for coming on the trip and what sorts of things you were hoping to discover.
I think, well, first of all, big thanks to LEQ for running the tour, because it's not often you get to actually spend time during school time in the business of a term to actually take time out and spend good quality time reflecting on important learning and teaching processes like service learning. So for me, that was my number one thought behind going on this tour, was because I feel very passionate about service learning, just to take that time out to stop and reflect and to be with people who are in a similar situation and sharing ideas and views. And because Lourdes is still a very new school, to look at how from the start we can look at embedding service learning within our culture. Because I came from a school previously that was a lot larger, and so you look at things differently based on your own context.
Thank you, yes. And so what were some of the highlights of the trip for you, Jodi?
For me, it was really that opportunity, as I said, to stop and have a look at who we are as a Lutheran school and what we stand for. And I often think it's really important that we take the time to look outside of our own system, and to look at what other schools and other systems are doing and what their thinking is as well, and then to use our Lutheran world filter to look at those ideas that are presented to us, so that we can reflect on that and build on all the good things we're already doing in our schools, but to enhance what we're doing. Thank you.
And were there particular specific highlights that struck a special chord with you?
I think the whole idea, which was something that's very strong with the Catholic tradition, is understanding justice and charity.
Yes.
And the difference between the two of them, and the important thing that when we're working with people in our community who are maybe disconnected or on the margin or whatever, how we actually view justice and charity in terms of developing partnerships and relationships, and understanding what that really means.
That's right, and that importance of relationships was emphasised over and over, wasn't it?
And that it takes time. I think in schools, because we're so busy, sometimes we look for a quick fix and we'll start this and we'll do that. But if you're looking at establishing a long-term partnership, one thing that I've learnt over time, and especially was reinforced on this tour, is that you need to put in the time to develop relationships. And you might not get a quick fix result, but that's not what it's about.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. And so going back to school after the study tour, what's happened now?
Actually, it was very interesting. In our reflection time in Melbourne, before we left on the Friday, I actually sat down and emailed all of the staff at Lourdes and said, I'm interested in starting a service learning action team to look at the vision of service learning at Lourdes, looking at developing professional readings so that we can all be on the same page, etc., etc. And I said to the staff that it would be an honorary and voluntary group, that we'd meet together 4 or 5 times this year after school. And I've been really happy to see that I've had 80% of the staff reply and say that they want to be part of the team in that capacity on a voluntary and honorary basis, which I think says a lot about people's passion for service and service learning within our schools.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Jodi, for sharing. I really appreciate your time. And God's blessing. Interested to keep up and hear how those meetings with your staff go in your new school setting. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Meg.
Thank you.